Okay, TVT on WCS America's Star Station. Let's go ahead and get on into this. So, TVT on Star Station, spawning in the lower left-hand corner, it is none other than GGK's SEWERAT. I'm assuming that's how you're supposed to say that. SEWERAT, yeah, okay. Anyways, spawning in the upper right-hand corner, it is going to be Bunnies, because he is buntiful. I don't know. Anyways, so TVT on Star Station. Now, Star Station, as was mentioned previously, is going to be a cross-spawn position map, so both players should already know where their opponents is. Let's go ahead and get the production tab and the units tab, or I guess supply tab thing, whatever you want to call this. Anyways, so TVT on Star Station. Now, I haven't seen that many TVTs on this. I've seen mostly PVTs, ZVTs, and ZVZs, but really haven't seen that many TVTs. So, in general, this map is fairly decent for drop play. You've got a very extended, cliff that can go into your opponent's main, and then obviously you've got potential for drops coming around the backside here with a very large void. And it looks like SEWERAT is actually going to be going for kind of a hidden racks, which is a little bit odd. He's got his waypoint already over to his opponent's base, and let's go ahead and see what Bunnies sees. It looks like he's probably going to come in here and be a little bit confused. Now, he doesn't get quite enough vision to see the rack, so he's probably thinking, there might be a proxy in my future. So he gets in here, does a lot of scouting around his base. Both of these players are Masters players, so definitely going to be, no questions at these guys' build. Fairly standard. Now, I'm not sure if he saw the SCV coming away from the barracks, so that might be a fairly decent indicator. Looks like he's going to be playing Reaper expansion style. Now, I don't think he quite knows that this is a force cross-spawn map, so he's going to actually be scouting the lower right-hand corner. Meanwhile, back in Bunny's base, he's going to be building a bunker? That's fairly odd. I think Bunny's is a little worried that his opponent might be going for some type of proxy play, and as a function of that, playing a little bit on the safer side. Now, this won't put him too far behind, just because he'll be able to salvage it later on, but overall, obviously, it takes away from his current build in that he's, one less person mining, and, delayed his expansion probably just a little bit. Now, he is going to go straight for a factory. They both went for a Reaper expand type build. Now, obviously, Bunnies is choosing not to expand from this. He's just choosing to sit back, and I would assume, since he is still getting gas, he's probably going to either go for Widow Mines or tanks. It'll be interesting. I'll be curious to see if we see more of a mech play of this. Reaper is going to come out and take out this poor SCV, just smoking there, and he's going to come in here and, wow, he actually takes out the Reaper, so definitely feeling good about that accomplishment. I don't know if he is going to salvage this bunker at this point or not. I would think that at this point it makes sense to just go ahead and salvage that, since he's only got one Reaper potentially to deal with. So it looks like he's going for kind of a 1-1-1 build, which is actually hasn't been seen too terribly much in the later, ever since the 1-1 kind of became less popular in Wings of Liberty, but probably going to be going for, let's see, Widow Mines? Widow Mines, maybe? Maybe not. Okay, anyways, back in SEWERAT space, we are going to be seeing him go for a very fast expansion. Also going to be going the factory tech, as well as getting a tech lab on one of his barracks, while the other one's got a reactor. I'm not sure why he kept the racks here. I don't know. Usually you'd see that get lifted off after, the opponent doesn't scout it and kind of gets worried. You'd see them lift it off and take it into the main, but doesn't look like he wants to do that. Gonna go ahead and build a bunker up just to play kind of more of a defensive style, and then he's also worried about Widow Mine drops. At this point, he's scouted everything that his opponent's doing. He does know that his opponent has a tech lab on his starport, so he's definitely thinking that Banshees are on the way. So he's going to be more than prepared for that. Already got a missile turret up in the main. Going to be sending a single Reaper in from the back. I don't know if he's actually going to scout anything. At this point, he hasn't seen an expansion, so he's still a little bit worried about what his opponent's doing. So definitely trying to get a decent scout off. He actually does come in and does see the command center. Still doesn't know that the Banshee is already on its way over to his base, but as of right now, it looks like he is more. SEWERAT is more than prepared for it, so this shouldn't do too terribly much damage. I would think that he could just throw some of his Marines into the bunker and do a scan if he chooses to go for a cloak. But it actually doesn't appear that Bunnies has gone for cloak, so he's just kind of poking out with the Banshee, and it looks like the Banshee's going to get a couple shots off on these Marines, killing one of them. Not too big a loss. Whew! Wow, it's been a long time since I've casted this for this long a period of time. So it looks like Bunnies is going to choose to poke at his opponent. He's already got a tank up. We'll be sieging this bunker, and then the Banshee is actually going to be poking at this supply depot, and he looks like he's switching over his factory onto the tech lab. I'm not sure if that will be to get tanks of his own, or if that will be to... Oh, it looks like we have a drop on the tank to try and deal with that. And actually, he's actually getting a fair amount of damage. He pretty much took out every single Marine that was there. And yeah, if we look at the units tab, it doesn't appear that SEWERAT's got very much defense at all. He's not going to be able to get up a bunker because the Banshees are going to sit here and harass. He can one-shot these Marines, and wow, this is looking very promising for Bunnies. Definitely pushing in here with his tanks, and it looks like SEWERAT is going to have to abandon his natural, losing all those SCVs. Holy cow. If we look at the units lost tab, we see a significant setback for SEWERAT, and Bunnies is just going to be putting on the pressure, and I believe this is getting pretty close to GG. There's not a whole lot that SEWERAT can do. His production is fairly minimal. We got some SCVs pulled out here. I'm not sure if he's planning on keeping those to repair if that bunker actually gets Marines in it. But yeah, at this point, SEWERAT is fully contained. Bunnies has done a really good job of keeping everything, you know, in its place. And wow, SEWERAT really can't do anything. His production is like virtually zero. If we look back at the production tab, we can see that only 3 Marines are being produced at a time, and that's not going to be enough to deal with the amount of units that Bunnies has on the field. The tank goes down, and GG is called, and this is a game number 1 for the AASL round of 8. 8? Is it already 8? I think it might be 8. It might be 7. I don't know. We'll have to check that during the break. Anyways, let's go ahead and get ready for game number 2.